Okay. Let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bhante bhuri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majja pamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Uchasayana, Mahasayana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa. Okay. So let us do some metta before we start the Dhamma Talk. Now let us sit here. Sit here, we relax. Relax from top of the head. Relax the face, the forehead. Relax the neck and shoulders. Relax the chest and stomach area. Relax the back, the hips, the buttocks. Relax the thighs, calf, soles of toes. So relax the whole body. Keep the mind peaceful, calm, clear, and present. May I be free. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well, and may I truly be happy. Now let us expand the Metta to all the beings in this meditation center, in this locality, whether they are humans or non-humans, guardian devas of this center, other devas residing here, to all the unfortunate spirits, betas, to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May we all be well, be peaceful, and truly be happy. May all beings around here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us expand further. Let's reach out our goodwill, good thoughts to all the beings in this whole country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas, betas, animals far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well and truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. May all beings here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us expand the Metta. Expand the Metta to all the beings in this whole wide world. All beings without exception. May they be our loved ones, near or far away. To all those whom we do not know wherever they are. Or to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all beings. To all the guardian devas of the sasana. To all other devas residing in this world. To all the petas. And to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this world, may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings in this world able to live in peace and in harmony and not in war. May all beings in this world live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings, may they all be well. May they all truly be happy. May all beings in this world be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May they all be well. May they all be peaceful. May all beings in this world truly be happy. Now let us expand Let us expand the goodwill, good thoughts, the boundless love to all the beings without exception, without condition, without boundary, to all the beings in this universe or universes, to all the beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest planes of existence. To all the beings in all the world systems. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings have peace in their heart. May all beings be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings without exception, may they all be peaceful. May they all be well. May they all be healthy. And may they all truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. Now, slowly we let go of the metta. We bring the mind, bring the attention back to the body. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sensation. Feel the pressure. Be here, right now. Then we slowly open our eyes. Getting a bit colder. All right. Let's address the issue of the floor. This is not the first time happened. There's several times already. Here, there's one. Somewhere you all sit there also one. Now the next one, I don't know, somewhere around there. Somehow just tampal only. Anyway, they'll come and do on the Monday, because tomorrow is Sunday. So you got to get the tiles, and then after that, we'll see what they can do. Luckily, we have we have some construction workers at the dining hall, so they will come over to have a look. Since we are talking about floor, for walking meditation, I always prefer a parquet floor, a wooden floor. A wooden floor is much more pleasant to walk. Wooden floor is not so cold. When it's hot, it's not so hot. This one, tiles, can be a problem if you're getting older. Yeah. And also these tiles also, not so good. A lot of reflection. I got bad with it. Maybe if there are discussion, perhaps we're going to change everything. Maybe slightly more matted floor, or maybe laminated floor. Who knows? But anyway, we'll leave it up to them. All right. Yesterday we talked about precision of noting. Tonight we continue on that too. So yesterday I spoke about that you have to be precise in the noticing, and the precision of noting, it comes in different forms, different ways. We must not narrow our mind that it has to be really just one thing at one time. Yeah? Sometimes it takes very different form, in a sense that it may look as if like 3 or 4 objects at one go as you progress. Normally, when we talk about precision, we talk about, okay, you take note of an object, you note it carefully, lifting, pushing, or rising, how it rises, how it falls. You pay attention to it carefully with the labeling. And this is normally what you meant by precision. Bring it thoroughly, precisely. But as you develop, the way of how you pay attention to the objects comes in different manner. As I said, one thing is that sometimes your mind goes wide and able to take note of several objects at one go, because it is being presented to you in that way, not you because you want it to be that way. It's not something that you choose to become it that way. It is something that is being presented to you in that way. You look at it in that way. Sometimes yogi thought that just because that in the past, they're just seeing one object one time, and then out of a sudden 3 or 4 objects coming in, they still don't want to see it. They want to see the way they want to see it. And this is where we narrow our scope of progress. And also it slow down the progress. In Vipassana, you have to see things as they are, not what you want it to be or how it should be. Many things is happening. As much as the word as seeing things as they are, many yogis have their own idea. Actually, a lot of us, we have all the fixed idea how objects should be. So as you develop, things are going to change much more faster. Dukkha will be more stronger, maybe at times. So you have to learn to quickly adapt to the situation, to the objects. So there are also times that when you are noting, the mind is not just differentiating, a single object, how it's like, but sometimes it's distinguishing a multiple object differently, in the sense that it can able to notice what is happening before and what is happening after that, immediately after that. And normally we talk about that as in intentions. Yeah? But intention comes in a very broad manner, in a very broad manner, in the sense that uh, normally when we do the walking, we say, okay, you know the intention a few times and you start the walking. And that is also intention. But sometimes intention comes in, for example, like when the ending of the walking. Ending of the walking, it may not be immediate, then you stop. Yeah? It may comes in like a few steps before that, that thoughts arises. A thought arises that you're going to stop, then after a few steps, then the walking stops. So the intention comes a bit more earlier. Even then, sometimes intention comes in much more broader, much more longer in duration. That means you think about it today, that what you're going to plan to do tomorrow, let's say, yeah? And that is also a kind of intention. Yeah? Or even 6 months down the road or a year down the road. You already there are certain thoughts that already arises. So that also is important for us to take note of those things. Because taking note of this intention, it in a way that it's going to broaden your scope of your noting. That means you're going to see that intention does not come immediately. But it's also in another way, it's going to narrow down the certain scope of your noting, because there are many intentions also come in just before when things are happening. So you're going to see in multiple ways how this intention is going to work. So towards yesterday, I said that sometimes, like when you are lifting, pushing, dropping, every time it lifted, there's an intention. And every time it's going to push, there's also an intention. When it's going to go down, there's also intention. So this time you see this intention as a consciousness. It comes up, it pop, then it goes up, the leg. Then the leg moves or something like that. It's no more like when you are in the beginning part, when it's just labeling only. Label, then when you start walking. But this time is actually you notice the whole consciousness arises, passes away, then it moves. Which is wonderful in that way, in that sense. So this intention, you're going to see them, perhaps if your mind is sharp enough, you're going to see them much more detailed. Like every single little movement, like for example, like just a swing of your arm. Then if you pay attention to it carefully, you see there's a stop, go, 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 stop, go. There's a many things that's going to happen. Yeah. And it's wonderful, actually. Yeah. Now, in any way, all these things, when you take notice of those things in so many ways, now here you're going to expand on your perception of non-self. Yeah? The perception of non-self is going to come in much more clearer manner. Non-self is not just like, oh, this is not mine, everything is not mine. Yes, this is one way how you see it. Yeah, not wrong. But there are different perception of it. There are different ways of how this non-self is going to arise. And one of the ways is that you're going to see one thing after another, one thing after another, one thing after another. One thing arises, happening, arises, happening, arises, happening. This is also a perception of non-self. Yeah? So it is good to understand that. But if you don't have the idea, the inclination of non-self, also doesn't matter. It's already etched into your perception already. Whether you know it conceptually or you don't know it and you just meditate on it, which is perfectly fine. Yeah? one of the thing is that, another thing is that, which I did not mention, is that this noticing these intentions and how mind and body is interacting together, in such a very close manner, very, very tiny, very subtle manner. And not only subtle, they are very dynamic all the time. And while you are noticing all these type of things, when you're noticing this way, the mind or the noting mind will not see any other entity. That is to say, it's only mind, body interacting together. There's no like external God or spirit or anything, soul or anything. Now, many of you perhaps already don't have the idea of God and the idea of this one. When you pass through this, noticing this intention, you don't feel it that much. But if you have a strong idea of God or soul or something, that whatever that you are doing is being caused by external power and Almighty, then it dictates all your actions, and everything is being fated by the external power. Now here, when you pass through this time, then this type of idea, it's abandoned, at least for a period of time. It's not totally abandoned yet. That wrong view is quite strong, it's quite deep inside us. So that one, at least when it is abandoned, the mind is purified. When the mind is purified, then you can notice things a bit more further. So it happens all at one go. All at one go. So you notice this intention in many ways. It's going to be very helpful for your development of your Vipassana meditation. Of course, during that time when you are observing it, of course, you don't think of it too much. Don't think of it, this is non-self, or this is anicca, this is dukkha, and all that. Don't think of it too much. Just keep noting. When you keep noting, the progress will be there. The progress will be much more easier for you to progress. Now, when it comes to this precision of noting also, it's also that you can able to distinguish mental defilements. And when the mind is purified and when the mind is defiled. When we say mental defilements comes in various forms. The one that we all normally know is in the first level, the mental defilements come from the speech and the action. That means you speak harsh speech because due to anger, or you due to killing, something like that. Then that anger builds up and express out through your action and through your speech. That we block them or we damn them by our precepts. With our precepts, we stop those actions from to manifest. This is one way. Now the second one is the one that arises in the mind only. The defilements that arises in the mind only. That means, for example, when you are doing sitting meditation and suddenly the anger arises, the rage arises, the anguish arises, or even the sadness or fear arises, that falls under all this ill will. Then it's burning inside you, but it's not being shown in the action or speech. That also we need to manage that. The third one is the latent one. The latent one means that it is not there. Right now it is not there, but it has the potential to arise. That is to say, when the conditions are right, then these defilements will arise. That means the greed, right now you do not have greed, but when the condition is there, or the food is around, or the other things is around, beautiful things is around, then the greed or the lust arises. That one, the third one, you only can eradicate it by the path and friction. The path, actually, the path knowledge. Yeah. Magga. There's only the eradication can take place through that. So the first two, we need to manage it, especially the second one in the retreat. Now, in the retreat, normally our precepts, we are well taken care. We take care of the precepts quite well. Fine, that is good. But the second one, that is difficult to take care. It falls under your sleepiness, laziness of mind. It falls under anger, fear. It comes as your desire. It comes as your restless mind, comes as your worrying mind, comes as your skeptical doubt. All the hindrances, it comes in. Or thinking of wrong view. So those things are a defiled mind. These are defilements. But defilements can come in a very subtle manner. The gross one is already, you can see, you meditate, then you remember all the past events, or you get so difficult. That one gross in terms of mental state. But the one that is subtle one, that is difficult to see. That is where the training in Vipassana comes in, where you can able to detect the more subtle aspect of the defilements of the mind. And it can come in. Just like you think that is normal now. While we are out there, we don't see this as a problem. When you don't see this as a problem, therefore when you come into meditation, it is also not a problem. You walk. After that, you think of your coffee or tea in the pantry there. Suka no problem. Out there is not a problem, isn't it? But what arises during this time? The desire arises. Subtle, yogis do not detect it at all. How are you going to see it? So this one also, we need to address it. We need to address that issue, that we can able to detect what is going on when this type of defilement arises. When it arises, we must learn how to stop it. We see that it arises, we stop it, then we don't we don't execute it in terms of our action. So we have to cut it off in a sense. So now there's one example. There's going to be many examples that's going to happen while you're in the retreat. As much as you're going subtle, walking slowly, sitting, there's a lot of your mind is doing a lot of things. All of us, we have those things. All of us. It's just a matter of take note of them. And you can catch them right in the middle when they are not so strong. Your mindfulness can able to overcome them. But the moment they start to spring up and they become much more stronger, then you have a hard time dealing with it. And then if you're not careful, it turns into a bad habit, horrible habit. And yet, the yogis still think that, what's the problem? The bosuha, it's not a problem at all. Now, there are times when not my retreat, my retreat, whoever drink coffee in the middle of walking session, see that. But there are other retreats that people do like that. Not here, perhaps other places. I've seen it, They're supposed to be meditating. They're supposed to be meditating and they are supposed to do, but whenever they see something or on the pantry, they just the hands are itchy, or the mouth is itchy, or the tongue is itchy actually. Like in Burma, we have this jaggery, there's jaggery and chicory, all this small thing. And you are allowed to have that in the evening, according to the Vinaya thing, So under 8 precepts, those things are allowable. Sweet. But of course, it's not very good, Create all kinds of diabetes. But when you are young, it's a different story. So sometimes there are devotees, of the temple organization. They put all this jaggery there for the yogis to have to have it. So the moment it's left it there, within half an hour, all gone. Whether it's a walking session, sitting session, all disappear already. Allowable for the precept, but doesn't mean that you don't look at your greed, The greed is still there, even though it is technically allowable. Technically, you are not breaking any precept. Technically. But as a yogi, we got to stem that greed also. We got to stem those greed. So there's going to be many forms of desire that's going to come up. Like if, for example, if you are a coffee drinker, bolim besi, cannot start your day one, that type of stupid mentality. No. You watch the TV so too much. You've been influenced by the world too much. You don't have mind to think of your own. I also drink coffee. It's not to say I don't drink. I also drink tea. But if I don't drink, it doesn't matter. No tea doesn't matter. No coffee doesn't matter. But the thing is that when we have this desire when they're out there, we don't check on it. Then we bring it over to during the time of when meditation. That habit to you is not wrong. That's not a problem. What's the big deal about it? There are places that I've seen yogis just sit down there, literally sit down with a coffee, watching the birds fly. And sometimes I use this example many times. But actually, that's what we've seen, that yogis just sit there in the middle of the... Because once you don't have that schedule, like what you do have 1 hour walk, 1 hour sit, yogis want to do anything, that is where all the defilements start coming in already. Your habit is going to start coming in. Now, a lot of people think that this schedule is very rigid. Oh, so rigid, I don't like it. I want to be free. I want to walk as I like, sit as I like. I don't want to be all this rigidness and so on. So because people don't understand the schedule we put up there, they thought that this is all about, controlling their freedom. No, this is not controlling your freedom. One of the purpose of the schedule is control your desire. To really control your desire so that you keep yourself to walking and sitting and not other thing. When you don't have a schedule, the places I've seen, there are places in Mahasi technique. There are places there's no schedule. You create your own schedule. Or you want to create or don't create, it's your business. The teacher, you go into a retreat, and the teacher don't even ask you whether you walk, sit or not. No, no, no. Just want to know your result. Whatever you do, legacy. You want to walk, you walk. You want to sit one time per day, you sit one time per day. You want to walk 3 times per day, you suka you. So this type of yogis, we notice that they don't progress very well. Because it's all the time that the desire is being this one and that one, and then after that they kepo already, do other things already. They see the places not enough flower. What they do? They go and buy flower and go and yes. I've seen nuns. They stay in the kuti there. Oh, the kuti is so drab, no nothing. And then go and ask the temple organization, go and buy some flower. Oh, then slowly plant the flower there. Oh, after that looks so nice. Oh, so good. When you don't see this as a defilement, you think that what's wrong with it? Nothing wrong with it, ma. It doesn't do anything to anybody. It's just that the yogi is just doing his own work only. So what's the problem? Yeah, that is the problem. That's why it is subtle. We don't see it in our everyday life. We don't see it in our everyday life. That's right. We don't see it in our everyday life. But in the retreat, a yogi must see it a little bit more further than that. Because every time this thing is going to pull you, the defilements is going to pull you instead of doing the right thing, doing what you're supposed to do. Some people for example, if this, let's say, if this center, and your bedroom is just at the door only. So you walk. Sleepy, what do? 3 steps only, you reach your bed already. Okay. Like in Kota Tinggi. Kota Tinggi, the meditation hall and the bedroom is just side by side. So every now and then I have to go up and go and check the bedrooms. Who is makan ulah? If you translate from Hokkien. So a lot of things happening. That's why the defilements is not being seen carefully. And if a yogi is not conscientious and is not precise in this noting, this type of habit builds up. It builds up in such a way that every retreat you come, you're going to exercise the same thing. You're going to do the same thing. Like, for example, like another thing. Sometimes we sit with, you sit. The instruction is that, hey, your pain comes, don't move your leg. The pain say, as much as you can. You say you pay attention to it. Then sometimes for us, if we don't watch our desire and also the aversion, every time you sit already, you kasi, you move the leg a little bit. You don't shift it a lot, but just a little bit only. You move the leg up. Just because you move the leg up, the pain song. Then you meditate. Then the teacher asks you, did you move your leg? No, I didn't move my leg. But you move a little bit only. A little bit only. Then you think that, hey, no problem. What's the big problem? The big problem is it happens again and again and again. How many sitting per day that we're going to have? And how many days are we going to have over here? So it builds up. That habit builds up. Every time the pain comes in, what do you do first? You think you will note the pain. No, you will not note the pain. You will shift the leg first. Not so painful anymore. Pain. Yeah, we know a little habit here and there because I did that before. And we know that those are mistakes, and we begin to see our desire is there. We see our desire and our wanting to have pleasant noting, more pleasant noting. We just cannot tahan the pain. This is what we do. So that little desire is that which is why I'm talking here. That we have to catch them. And if you can able to catch them, it is wonderful. It is great. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this falls under what we call whether it is suitable action or not suitable action. Uh, under the under the clear comprehension is called suitability. Uh, what's the Pali word? I forgot. Never mind. Now, in this sense, normally for a beginner, if you want to exercise this, you want to exercise how to take note of it. In the beginning part, you have to ask yourself questions. You ask yourself. Now, let's say you are doing sitting meditation. You do sitting. Bell not ring yet. Ask yourself, should I get up or not? Now the mind wants to get up, but the here the schedule is 1 hour. So you ask yourself, should I get up or should I not get up? Should I do it or should I not do it? Perhaps at times you need to do it. At times you may not need to do it. You must not do it. Because different times may be different situation and you have to judge it carefully. Now, for example, in the you sit and then there's nothing a problem. It's just that you just sian, boring, this type of thing. Then you want to get up. Then you ask yourself, should I get up? Must I get up? Then you ask yourself, no, this is not the time to get up. Try first. Then you overcome. You overcome the habit. You overcome the defilements for that period of time. But other times, perhaps you need to. Perhaps other time is that truly your let's say stomach ache or be tahan already. Bell still not ring yet. Monday says cannot get up. How? No lah. You got to make a judgment. If it's necessary, then we do it. Now, for example, like we are doing walking meditation. We are doing walking meditation. Sometimes the laziness come in. Yeah, drowsy or boring. Things are getting bored. Then you note your boredom. Then the desire of, hey, maybe go there, maybe lie down just for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you lie down, after that, wow, clear already, then you walk must be song sui sui, everything become very nice. So you do it one time, after it, you get up and walk, actually feel good on you. You feel good. You feel, wow, very good walking meditation. For that session, you feel good. But subsequently, that desire will start to build up because every time sleepiness come in, what do you think? You think you overcome it by walking? No, you overcome it by take a nap, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then after that come back. Wow. Then they ask you, oh, how's your walking man? Wow, walking meditation very good. They don't report the napping time, They only report what is being seen on here. Oh, very good, very nice. But they forget, they don't forget purposely. They don't report, I go to take a nap and so on. No, they don't say that. But we know yogi's attitude. So here we got to take note of that desire. So while you're walking meditation, a lot of times, especially beginner yogis, or when you are not being given not enough instructions, not just the walking is not just lifting, pushing, dropping. There's many other things that's happening within our mind. So take note of that desire too. So while you're walking meditation, you have to determine that this time is for walking meditation. Don't do any other thing. If you want to drink water, drink it in the beginning of the walking meditation or in between sitting and walking. If you want to go to the toilet, in between sitting and walking, you go to the toilet. While you're here, while you're doing walking meditation, not only, even you suka, want to go toilet also, you have to, should I go or should I not go? Until that, you have to take note of it, because your desire sometimes is just to get you out from that walking meditation with the excuse of where? Toilet. That desire, that's why it is subtle. So you got to take note. Walking time, you walk. You are thirsty a little bit, hold on first until you end of that walking this one. So normally, now if you can tahan, if your bladder is big enough, if you can tahan for 2 hours, that would be better. For example, after getting up from sitting meditation, take some water and go to the toilet, whatever you need to do. And then after that, you do your 1 hour walk. Then from that 1 hour walk, you immediately go into your sitting. Now, sometimes in between, if you go to the toilet, then that is where it breaks the mindfulness. Then all your thoughts start coming in. Then when you flush, your mindfulness also go together with it. Sometimes there's gaps there, and yogis are not mindful on these daily activities. That's that in between there, between the walking and the sitting. So if you can able to tahan, if you cannot tahan, of course, by all means you go. But if you can tahan for 2 hours, do the walking, bring all the sharp mind, the clear mind, the mindfulness, the precision, the concentration, everything into your sitting meditation. Now, the moment you do your sitting meditation, immediately go to the first object of your rising and falling and make it into a habit. And you see that the mind, the object becomes so much more clearer. It's because that a lot of times we have gaps in between. This is some of the small little technique we pick up over the years, and it's very helpful actually. We don't think of it, of this type of things out there a lot. We don't think, but as I said, in the Vipassana, every small little thing, it's very important. So this is something that you take note. In order for you to cut those other wrong habits, small little habit, you cut it off. And also sometimes other things that sometimes yogi develop certain habit of doing things in a certain way, a certain manner. I mean, it's good sometimes in certain way. Sometimes, but then it can be very overwhelming and over attachment to it. Sometimes the schedule, for example. After some time, when you meditate in a longer retreat, your mind becomes like automatic. 4 o'clock, wake up. Walks it. 6:30, breakfast. Eat. And then after that, you're supposed to do whatever you need to do. Then after that, by 8 o'clock, you come back and you meditate, walks it. Everything become like every day, because every day is the same thing. You got nothing else already. Then if you build up over the days in a long retreat, a very good habit actually, it builds up, because it will always give you that time that it's just like second nature to you, that at the right time you already go into this one. You already go into that walking. You already go into that sitting. You don't have to see the schedule anymore. It kind of like everything is like etched into your psyche already. After, if you're longer than 2 weeks, not talking about just 2 weeks, but longer than 2 weeks, or 1 month, or 3 months, or 6 months, or 1 year. So when they have that it's very good. But sometimes when there's a change, Or let's say there's a function arises or something, maybe the hall cannot be used, for example. Then you have to move to somewhere. Then you find that, it's so difficult, so hard to change from it. So the mind becomes like fixed in a certain thing, but when certain things changing, it's very difficult because we are holding on to it. So hopefully the mind is more adaptable, because the adaptability, it reduces that fixedness of our mind, the one-trackness of our mind. That is also another, sometimes it's another form of craving. It's a very subtle form of craving. It does not come as a greed, but it's a kind of a craving to our time, to our this one. Now, when we do this type of things, it is good that every now and then a yogi should check oneself. Even sometimes, like for example, you want to do something, and then sometimes there's a ulterior motive behind it. An ulterior motive behind it. This time, if you begin to check sometimes all our ulterior motives and so on, it becomes much more clearer to you. All this type of subtleness of desire, of aversion, posong and so on. Sometimes the yogis out of they shock other yogi, they posuka other yogi. Then they meditate. Purposely they go and close the window, let the yogi get hot. Then they buat tatao. And then people are sitting, meditating, when especially the fan or this one, they're sitting, they can turn off your fan. There are people like that, ulterior motive. There's ulterior motive, ulterior desire, or ulterior anger there. And many times, all of us, we have that because we don't see that ulterior motive, that little thing that we do in order to so-called spite others, just a little bit, There are people like that. And people, they're also very inconsiderate also. They don't consider whether their action that they do is correct or not, is proper or not, or disturbing to other yogis or not. I've met with yogis. You're supposed to do this way walking, let's say, this way, go up and down. There are yogis go diagonal, cross everybody's path, go back and go forth like that. Doesn't bother about other people. Not here, other places. While yogis are walking, they go snack around the yogis. To them, you see, walking meditation is not important. To them, it's not important. But for other yogis, it's important. But they don't care, they don't bother whether those actions are this and that or not. So sometimes you have to be aware of all these motives and all this intention. If that intention and this motive and this desire, if it's not proper, then we should learn to stop them. But of course, in the beginning part, you must be able to catch them first. So in order to catch them, that's where the mindfulness comes in. That's where the training, trial and error start coming in. Over time, you begin to notice all this subtle type of desire. You begin to notice this desire, and it's going to be very helpful for you. Not only just in the retreat time, but when you are out there, then you'll see that a lot of times when we are angry, we want to do something to other people. We want to spite them. want to do something, it doesn't hurt them, but it just make them a bit uncomfortable. Want to make them a little bit more difficult for them. Yeah. Even with our desire that arises, we don't notice them because the desire comes in even more stronger, stronger and yet subtle, like food, like hearing or seeing and so on. So those things, if you begin to notice those things in our everyday life, you begin to notice that you can able to cut off a lot of things that normally you are attached to. If you don't get to eat that laksa, doesn't matter. If you don't have to able to go to where? Penang. Doesn't matter. But the next retreat, not this next retreat, the following retreat, the meditation center will be in a durian in a monastery with full of durian trees, And June is where it's all at the ripen at its peak. That time we'll see how the yogis was seeing as you sing it. Every day you're gonna get durian. It's not purposely I choose that time because I only have that time only. And so happened that it's going to be a durian season. I've seen it before because in the past, it so happened also in June or May, June, somewhere there, it's where all the durian season. So out of the monks and devotees there, out of kindness and yogis come training hard, they want to make them happy So offer them durian. Hey, it's not a cheap durian, it's just all good durian. Musang King. Outside there you buy 100, this one you all get free. Yeah, with other things also, Anyway, you're gonna have a lot of yogis gonna have a hard time actually. The desire overwhelming because today you eat, tomorrow it's going to feed you again. Then you suka luko chai chia Then the third day, you jelat already. Then the fourth day is going to bring again. Fifth day is going to be there again until it's so jelat. You see the durian until thank goodness. You want to get out of the meditation center. First day, you see. Anyway, we'll see. Sometimes the season is not so good, then nothing much. If the season is good, yes, it's a lot. Nevertheless, so you have to be careful. The things that you're going to desire, these things is going to impact on you quite a lot. It's going to impact upon you that if you don't control your desire, you don't watch your desire, you don't stem this thing, then you're going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So different monastery or different meditation centers, they're going to have different conditions. So it's important that we take note of this type of conditioning that is happening when you go to different places. Some places, like for example, you may deal with the heat. The heat is terrible, difficult to bear up. Some places you have to deal with the distance. Like for example, you want to walk from your kuti to the meditation hall. Even those normal walking take you 15 minutes. Every time you then if it's sometimes in the Burma, their meditation center like 200-300 acre. If you are one kuti from one end, you want to walk to the other end, take you 15-20 minutes. They don't care whether your kuti is how. The side is going to stand there. Why late? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care whether your kuti how far. Yeah. So you have to deal with this thing. Different places have different problems. And also sometimes you have to go into places where the season change. Seasons can change. Like Burma also the season change. You go to Europe, also season change. And then throughout the year, you have to deal with a different condition of how to meditate. Yeah? Sometimes you have to wear thicker and heavier. If sometimes some yogis doesn't like too heavy. Yeah? Sometimes the yogis like a bit light. Yeah. Sometimes some yogis wrap up like a cocoon like that. They wrap up like a baby, you wrap the baby up like that. Ah. Some again, you have to adapt, because if you don't adapt to the different places, your anger and your desire springs up, and you got to take note of those things. So you have to take note of these things. All these small little anger, small little desire, you may think that these are not a problem in your meditation, but they can be. So in a nutshell, if you are doing walking meditation, you just do your walking meditation. As simple as that. Don't go here, don't go there, don't go and do this, do that, drink coffee, drink this and drink this. Don't do that. Just meditate. When you are sitting meditation, just sit. Don't do this again. Don't a little bit of sound. Don't go in this one and that, unless it is a emergency. Of course, that's different thing. But most of the time, that's not an emergency. Most of the time is there will be some sound here and there. Don't open up the eyes and see and try to listen to it. Just do your meditation. If you don't take note of all these small little things, then it can be a problem. And if it's bad enough, strong enough, or you repeat, it becomes a habit. So then other times, when it's like time to get up, you get up. Time to sit, you sit. Time to walk, you time. Time to eat, you eat. If you do like that, we begin to cut down on a lot of our desire and also our dislike. And with that, actually, I'm not saying that it's going to cut off everything, but it's going to minimize a lot of things. And it's going to minimize a lot of things. So with that meditation that you're going to do in again and again, retreat after retreat, let's say, you will come to a time that when you're sleepy or when you are, there's come to a time you don't think of bed one. You will think of it how to overcome it by the walking. You will overcome it by the sitting. That means you train yourself into overcoming these things rather than taking just a worldly or shortcut way. Yeah? So many things that you're going to learn just by avoiding that those small little desire. This is how I learn. How I learn not going into the bed when it's sleepy. Instead, that how to overcome the sleepiness by sitting. How to overcome the sleepiness during sitting. Overcome the sleepiness during walking. Overcome the restless mind during walking. Overcome this one. Everything. During in the walking, during in the sitting. That's why the skills over time it starts to pick up. And it's good for you. And after that, later on, when you meditate, those type of thoughts don't arise anymore, or very rarely it arises, unless until you're sick only, then only perhaps you look for bed. Other than that, there's time to walk, you walk. Time to sit, you sit. Time to rest, you rest. So it becomes wonderful. The yogi becomes very disciplined, dedicated, and therefore it gives rise to the condition for you to progress much more better. All right? So, okay, we'll stop here for tonight. Tomorrow we'll continue with another talk. idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bhagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu.